welcome back. Two Cops, One Donut podcast, representing the National Real-Time Crime Center Association podcast. Doing a little joint collaboration here, as always. And today, what you can expect from this episode is we're going to talk about what our training is going to contain. And I have got the top dog for the board of the NRTCCA, Jared Cosina. How you doing, brother?
Good. Yourself?
Can't complain. We kind of dragged our feet a little bit with this podcast. We've all had very busy professional lives. And as people know, our board is all volunteers and we are all in the career field. So it is understandable that we can't always get to the stuff we want to get to exactly when we want to get to it.
But do you know what the great part about today is? I don't think you realize what today is.
I know exactly what today is.
Do you know what today is?
National Donut Day, son. Right? Get it? I know.
Which I have not partaken yet.
I actually, well, I won't get into that because it has nothing to do with this side of the house. I don't want to cross-contaminate things. But today's episode, for those listening, the NRTCCA, one of the things that we want to push out there is our training. We want to get the best practices and things like that. Well, we've been going pretty strong now, over a year. We've got a lot of good things together, and we're starting ready to push that stuff out to y'all. And Jared here is the top man for that. He is pushing out training. It's going to be on the websites. It's going to be available for the members. More importantly, it's going to be at our conference coming up. Let me see. Our dates are September 26th through the 28th in New Orleans, but we will touch on that a little bit later. These podcasts are fairly short. We try to stay around 20 minutes, so stay tuned. If you're a member, if you're not a member, check us out. See if you like what we have to say. So, Jared, training guy, what's been going on, man? What's coming down the pipe?
So it has been a whirlwind, as you know. This is kind of what we do as the real time is kind of a new thing for law enforcement for most of us. Some of us have been doing it for a long time. A lot of us, it's a brand new concept. So a lot of people are trying to figure out first what the heck it is. So we're trying to put that word out there. But one of the most exciting things we have coming up besides our conference is in June. Let me get you the exact dates. June 27th, Justice Clearinghouse. If you're not familiar with them, they're kind of like the TED Talk world for everything law enforcement. They have awesome webinars all over their site, and we are doing one as the real-time board. Ours is called What is a Real-Time Crime Center? So that will be June 27th, and some of the topics we're going to hit on is basically what it is, how you start one, how you fund one, basically starting from nothing, how you get the community involved, bridging that gap. It's going to be super, super intuitive for anyone that needs to know just basic information. And that would kind of lead us into our event in New Orleans that you talked about.
Okay. So if you're just listening, we've got this on the screen, the event that he's talking about with Justice Clearinghouse. What is a real-time crime center and how do you start one? I like it. That is probably our top question that gets asked. I had Matthew Thomas and Mark Lamb, the sheriff's department there out in Pinal County in Arizona. They actually thought that this was not something they could have because they had seen NYPD's real-time crime center and just thought that's what that is, and they ain't at that level yet. So we had an offline conversation, and this may be a good class for them. I'd like to get those guys hooked up with this because it's just what you said. It's funny that people don't believe you. A radio and a laptop, a radio and a smartphone, a radio and a tablet can be enough to get a real-time crime center going.
For real. Like one of the, I think at our conferences, I want to have my commander come and talk about it, but we started with a conference room and we went and got open box TVs from Best Buy, and that's how we got started.
Yeah.
And funny story about Sheriff Lamb is he used to work for us. That's how we started. Salt River PD.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so Sheriff Lamb worked for us for a long time, and then he got sheriff.
Yeah, America's sheriff. So
yes.
Yeah, we're
nicest guy in the world.
I'm gonna get him on the podcast, and I will definitely be bringing up real-time crime centers to him. So I think that'll be a good way to bridge that collaboration that we've been doing with the two podcasts. So
can't
wait to do that. Let's talk more about the training that we're going to be providing at the conference. I'm going to pull the
Yeah.
conference up on the screen here. All right, there we go. We got the conference up on the screen if you're just listening. It's got the dates. Again, let me just remind you, it's going to be in New Orleans, 500 Canal Street. Zip code is 70130 at the Sheraton. And it will be September 26th through the 28th. All right, Jared,
Yep.
tell us what you're going to be providing for training.
Yeah. So we're pretty much throwing everything you could ever want to know about real-time crime centers at our place here at our conference. So we're going to hit on drone as a first responder program. I think myself and Tom, who also is on the board, are going to talk about that one. Tom's got a great DFR program that he's running out in Glendale. We're starting ours up in Salt River, and we're getting a big old fixed wing that's going to be our air unit that I'm super excited about. We're going to hit on connecting with your community. It's about building those partnerships. It's not about, it's kind of breaking that barrier and teaching the community that we're not trying to be Big Brother, and we're also not your alarm company. We don't have time to watch your cameras. It's about building that relationship. It's about getting to know the face of who's responding to your business, how we can get there faster, and how you can help us reduce crime in your area. Um, we're going to be partnering with recognized fusion centers and basically discussing the difference between fusion centers and real-time crime centers and how they work cohesive as a unit. We're going to be basically showing you how to build a real-time crime center from the ground up, literally starting with absolutely nothing. So all of your information, all of your questions you could ever think of on how do I get started, as Eric, you were saying, with the laptop and a computer screen, we're going to touch on that.
Nice.
We're going to hit about police leaders, supervisors, and technology, how to get your leaders on board, how to get supervisors on board, leveraging those community and technology partners, because without them, we wouldn't be successful. I mean, you can't figure out how to connect all these thousands of cameras on your own. You need technology, you need those partnerships, and we have a great group of people that we've, as a board, have partnered with that will help answer all those questions. We're going to hit on events management and scene security. Scene security is a huge one. Being able to provide overwatch for your officers out there when you're sitting behind a computer screen. So it not only is helping them, but it's a force multiplier for your department, because we all know we're hurting for bodies.
Yeah.
It's a national thing. All of us are hurting. So why not being able to have a force multiplier from one person sitting behind a computer screen, being able to look over all these scenes, providing backup for your officers and real-time
Yeah.
information.
Let me add on that, because
Yeah.
I want cops that listen to this and like, I don't need, some eye in the sky over watching me. Um Literally, for those that have listened to me in the past, I'm still very much in the street. I kind of play back and forth. I use our real-time crime center as a tool when we set up details and things like that, and I do it a lot. But I have literally witnessed uh our team move in. This is live. We're watching the cameras. Our team move in. A guy with a weapon that we were watching. There was a mass confusion as they all swarmed in to get these guys. One of them managed to slip away and was trying to blend in, and he was directly behind an officer. And we were able to tell them live on the radio, you know, we knew the officer's name, and we're like, hey, directly behind you, tier 6, wearing all red. And he just turned and he just grabbed him and did the right thing, put him on the ground, and trusted us. Like, there was no question, no hesitation, put him on the ground. And as he put him on the ground, the gun flew out and we saw it, and it was perfect. And so that's
That's so
how we
awesome.
want it to go. And that is what you're talking about when we say we overwatch.
Yeah.
That
Hmm.
stuff works. I've witnessed it. I've been a part of it. So you're hearing it directly from me, and I'm sure you've seen the same.
Yeah, and I get it. It's like, it's kind of like when we all got body cams at first, right? Nobody's like, "Oh, great, everyone's gonna Monday night quarterback me."
Yeah.
I will be the first one to say I didn't want one. Then I got one, and I was like, "This is the best thing ever." I
Yeah.
was like, "No more complaints because I'm right."
Now I got to witness that I'm right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's the same thing with real time centers. Like, we had a similar story where an officer was in a foot pursuit and didn't know where he was. Our real time center was able to say, "Here's exactly where he is," and not only that, you keep running, get off the radio, we'll handle your perimeter. We set a perimeter entirely around him without him even realizing what was happening.
Yeah.
So it's a huge, huge force multiplier, and I think officers that have one in their city love it, and those that don't will come to love it.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure your real-time crime center is no different than ours. It seems like it's continuous tours, and
Hmm.
our guys get worn out a little bit from. But I'm like, this is what we need because it is
Yeah.
so new. It is still. I know real-time crime centers have been out there for some people for 6, 7, 10 years. They've been out there. I get it, but
Mm.
it's still so widely unknown. So you got to keep
Oh yeah.
doing this and bring awareness to it because it is changing policing.
Oh yeah. Hugely. I
Yeah.
mean, it's policing in the modern era finally.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's the scalpel to crime. It
Hmm.
really is. It is such a beautiful, fun new tool for guys like me and you that love catching bad guys. I
Right.
I love it. Like
Well, that the
it
nerds of us that love technology, you get
yes,
to mix them together.
yes, and it has brought a new energy for me when it comes to catching bad guys. Like I find myself all the time. I'm just like, what's a different way that I can go catch these guys? Like and
Oh yeah.
create new plans and trying new things. And I will be speaking. I guess I learned this. I've been voluntold. I'm going to be speaking at the conference.
You should have known.
Yeah, and I was like, I MC. I talk enough. Nobody wants to hear me. Chris is like, no, we need to hear about your details that you've done. So I've done quite a few details using Real Time Crime Center as
Hmm.
a tool. Like
Yeah.
our Real Time Crime Center is 24/7 where
Hmm.
I'm at. So I want to make that clear. But I don't work in there right now. I have a field team and we're out. And I our Real Time Crime Center has created substations, so to speak, to allow teams like me access. I will go in, I will control the cameras that I request access for, and we run our detail
Hmm.
and we do it all. If we have any questions, the guys that do it 24/7 are right there. But for the most part, I know how to do it. And we'll get into that training section when you get there of
Hmm.
these are things you need to be aware of because you can't just throw someone in there and expect them to know how to do it. It's got to be
Oh yeah.
training.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the average officer might not want to be behind a desk, and I get that it can be desk work, but when you see the potential what these centers can do, you're virtually stopping crime. Like it's amazing. Like you're on, a security camera for a retail store, and you're literally leading your officer to that suspect. You're telling
Yep.
them to run in this door because the suspect's running out that one.
Yep.
It's amazing.
It's hard to convince your sharks out there that love hunting that you need to cage them. You need to cage
Hmm.
them so they can catch more bad guys.
Yeah.
We have a guru, one of my favorite street cops. He finally saw the light, and instead of catching 2 to 3 bad guys a day, now he catches 8 to 10 to 12.
Oh yeah.
It just like you said, it's a force multiplier.
Hmm.
And if you're listening, you're like, oh my god, you sound like a sales pitch. Oh, I get it. I am kind of trying to sound like a sales pitch, only because I've seen how effective it is.
Yeah, and we're not just trying to sell you a vacuum. We're trying
Yeah.
to sell you the coolest Wi-Fi enabled Bluetooth vacuum there is.
Yes, I'm a big nerd, so I like the tech side of it. I get excited about it. In a world of policing where we tend to be pessimist and cynical, this is,
Hmm.
I'm telling you, I'm optimistic and I'm having a bunch of fun doing it. So
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just trying to change y'all's mind out here in Texas. I promise y'all, it works. It's fun, and I'm sure it's working in Arizona.
and obviously it is working because around the country, you look at how many centers are now popping up all over the place, and thousands.
Yes. So let's touch a little bit on how the structure of training is going to be. What direction are you taking it? So I know we're gonna for our members, training is going to be we're gonna have virtual, correct?
Hmm.
So virtual training is coming down the line. That's something that
Yep.
for people to expect. Um, that we'll also be providing going to location. I don't know what to call
Yeah.
that. on
Yeah.
site,
It's a bit
on
like
site training.
consulting. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On-site training.
On-site training. So those are two ways to expect that. And then obviously when we do these conferences and summits and things of that nature, um, and it's all geared towards the stuff you guys ask us.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
I mean, basically, we're answering the questions that we get asked hundreds of times over a day.
yep,
On and a lot of them aren't unique. A lot of you all have the same questions, so we're trying to get all that information out there.
yep,
But the conferences is definitely going to be the big one for us because we can hit the most people at any one time and provide multiple classes, so you can kind of pick and choose what you want to see. If you already have a center, how can we enhance it, things like that.
Right. Are we going to be providing digital copies of any of the stuff we do or anything like that?
Yeah, that's the goal. Is we're gonna be kicking out newsletters, and then we're gonna be having like digital publications of trainings or copies of webinars, YouTube videos, things like that we're doing. I know on our site we've got a lot of information that's already free on there, but we'll be adding a ton. We have a kind of a resource tab at the top, and there's going to be a ton more information as it comes. And as you talked about, we've only been at this for about a year, and we kind of went from 0 to 100
Yeah.
in a year, and we're still building because this thing's getting bigger. So we're trying to keep up with demand as best we could. That's why we're constantly reaching out to all of our friends out there saying, "Hey, you want to help? Great,
Yep.
we need your help."
Yep. Yep. Okay. Um, that's I'm clicking on our resource center and oh, I can't. So my bad. It won't let me. I'm not logged in and I don't want to take the time to do all that right now. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know if there's any. Is there anything in the resource tab yet?
There is a couple things. You do have to log in because they're kind of law enforcement sensitive.
Okay.
Um,
I won't do
yeah.
that then. So
Um,
on the training that we do provide and things like that, is it just for members or is there non-member versions of stuff going out?
no, I mean we're constantly pushing stuff out. Like we're gonna have, like I said, the newsletter is gonna be ramping up here quite a bit. We're gonna be doubling down on webinars, things like that. So you
Okay.
don't have to be a member to us, but there's definitely perks in being a member to us because we do have that resource center on our site, which has a ton more that's publicated already.
Okay. I'm just trying to, for those that are on the fence, are like, I can't afford $24 a year or $25 a year. Um, I get it. And I know some cops are like, no, I'm not paying my own money for my professional stuff. And I fully support your decision in
Hmm.
that because I would be the same way. Um, but, uh, 25 bucks a year ain't that bad when you consider the resources that we're going to be providing. So, and then not to mention that all the foundational sponsors stuff that we have, you're able to check out these companies and without having to research like who does this, who does that. It's
Hmm.
all provided right here. So it's kind of cool having that collaboration with them as well.
Yeah, we're trying to do the work for you, so you don't have to do as much research.
Yes. Yep.
Save you some time.
I should say the other board members are trying to do the work for you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just trying to get the information out there. Uh, but hey, I do what I can when I got time. So, but all right, Jared, did we hit everything? Get everything you thought?
Yeah.
Anything
I
you
think
missed?
the only other thing that, if you come to our conference in New Orleans, that's super exciting and that you probably won't get anywhere else, is we're literally teaching how to build a camera box as one of our classes. So it's not just the technology stuff as far as like, computers, it's actual hands-on. So if you can swing coming to New Orleans with us, it's going to be super fun. If not, we're going to put a bunch of stuff that we talked about online as far as that conference goes.
Heck yeah. I'm excited, dude. I'm honestly, I'm very excited. I've only drove through Louisiana to get to Florida. I've never actually hung out there. So,
Oh, it's a good time.
that's what I hear. I hear good drinks, good time, and bring beads. So
Yep.
all the fun stuff. So I'm excited. Can't wait to do it. Can't wait to see everybody out there. Again, that's going to be September 28th, or I'm sorry, September 26th through the 28th in New Orleans at the Sheraton. And if you guys
Yes.
have any questions, reach out to us, our board members, or anything like that. And if you are not a member, I got it up on the screen. We have I'm sorry, wrong QR code right here. This QR code. You can use this to join. 25 bucks a year and be a part of the team. Help us out. We'll help you out for sure. But you never know what you're going to bring to the table. Everybody runs into bumps in the road that we've never heard of. And if you
Hmm.
can get that information to us, we can get it out to everybody. And you'll be helping police across the nation. And when you help out the police across the nation, you're helping yourself catch the bad guys, which is the ultimate
Heck
goal.
yeah, guys. Still one giant team.
That's right. All right, brother. I appreciate you being on, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Take it easy.